Welcome to another edition of Mama's Gone Wild. I'm Nikki Woods.
And I'm Mary Boyce.
And today we are talking about the very Mama's Gone Wild topic of saying no to unemployment. And as we like to say, rebranding yourself in a really tough economy. So today we are talking to Carol Hampton, who has been, she's like a badge of honor. She's been laid off several times.
Oh, my war wounds. Yes.
Well, we're going to talk about it. And Kimberly Mahoney, who is currently not employed, shall we say, even though we know that, you do other things on the side as we all do. So let's talk about that. First of all, I think the biggest challenge, especially for somebody who's gone through this process before, maybe to somebody who hasn't. I've been fired several times. Laid off was not the word they used when they let me go. But it's really challenging if you're looking for that next opportunity or you're looking to create a new opportunity to stay motivated. So what advice do you have for those who may be in your situation on how you stay motivated as you go through the whole job seeking process?
Well, for me, I look at the economy and what's going on, and so I know it's just not me that can't find a job. Mm-hmm. It's this whole United States, and so that kind of keeps me motivated to know that it's just not that I don't have the skills or the skill sets to do a job. Mm-hmm. It's just they don't have the jobs.
So you don't take it personal.
I don't take it personal, yeah. And so that really keeps me motivated to know that I'm unemployed with a whole bunch of million other people. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I'm not by myself in this boat.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kim? What was the biggest part? What was the hardest part for you when you first found out that you were going to be laid off?
Insurance. That is the huge thing, is being insured.
With a new baby,
exactly,
especially.
Exactly. So that is one of my main concerns is insurance.
And your husband works independently too,
right?
So
yes,
that's a big deal.
Yes, it's huge. So that was one of the main things is, oh my gosh, we're losing our insurance. Mm-hmm. So it's still fresh. Like it hasn't been a full 2 weeks yet, mm-hmm. but I'm already like, I got to get a job. I got to get a job. I got to get a job. Like I just don't want, I'm always thinking about what if. Mm-hmm. What if Happy's outside and she gets stung by a bee? Mm-hmm. What if, there's always these things that come up that I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to be caught out there. So I am I was employed with my previous employer for almost 10 years. So that's even getting back out there and seeing that it is different. It is different in looking for a job now than it was a decade ago.
Technology
plays
a big part now in finding a job.
And who you know. Who you know, what you know is important, but it's also who you know. Networking is huge.
Yeah, and probably after your 7th year, you're like, I'm good.
Right.
Exactly.
Networking
Exactly.
Right. So did you have a clue? Because I think that makes a difference too. Because if you work in an industry and you can see it changing, like if you make 8-track tapes, you know, you should be looking for something else.
Right.
But like, did you have any indication that?
Well, I felt like our office was small anyways. So you know how you have a feeling in the pit of your stomach, but it's like, okay, I don't really want to go with that feeling because it's not a positive feeling.
Right.
So I felt like I knew that there was something coming along, but at the same time I was fighting it. So I didn't do the right preparation. So it was more so, but it wasn't like some people walk in and they're just blindsided. I had a feeling. They
didn't walk you to that little room like
right.
they do. Right here, they take you by your elbow, they walk you to this little room like, today was your last day.
And the paperwork before you.
We'll need you to sign here and here. Right.
Yes.
So speaking of the changes, and I think that's a really good point, because one thing that Mary and I do and talk to people a lot about is the fact that no longer you like defined by your employer. It's like, when my parents were working and, even a lot of us in this generation, like you said, you were with your employer for 10 years, that's who you are. You're like, I'm Pepsi, or, I'm Apple, or whoever it is. And so a lot of times we talk to people about branding yourself and who you are as an employee aside from who employs you. So what kind of steps have you all taken, or have you even thought about it, about like how you've branded yourself or how you're now starting to brand yourself now that you're looking for another job?
I'm going really more with my I got a degree in marketing, and I never really had jobs in regards to that. My background's been insurance. And this time around, I said, you know what? This is what I do. I'm marketing. So as Susan Taylor has said in one of the Essence magazine, my side hustle is party planning and wedding
What's the name of
events.
your company? And what's your title?
Party stylist.
Party stylist.
Yes. Party stylist. And so, and I'm such a people person. And so, because it's not a person that go into any setting. I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna listen to me, and we have a good time. So
even if you have to tie them up, we
even yeah. So that's my way. I just decided it's time to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I understand this the recession, but if I'm going to do my next job, it's going to be something I want to do, and not just have a job just to make money.
And this kind of environment, the way social media is and stuff, I think we're really the first, or you're the first generation, you youngins are the first people that really can do that. Just decide this is what you want to do, create. You don't need a company. I mean, you can do everything yourself. So have you been thinking about?
Yes, with my husband being at home and being a stylist and what he does, we've been really, I want some self-sufficiency. Like, I don't want to depend on someone else to provide me insurance. I want to be able to do something for myself. So there is no future feelings of pits in the stomach of, oh my gosh, they may decide to do this to me. I don't want to put my future in someone else's hands. So I think that is, now that I'm in the situation that I'm now, it's more so I'm being pushed that, Kimberly, it's your time. It's your time to do something different and to make that decision to control your own future.
And I think it's about being clear about what you want to do. I mean, I think that if you're wishy-washy, you're like, okay, well, I can be a stylist, but I also know how to put in plumbing. And, and maybe you can combine the two. I don't know. But I think it's once you get clear about what you want to do and then you commit to it, I think that things kind of start falling into place. I think when some people feel desperate when they don't have a job or they don't have that security of having a company behind them, and they start reaching for straws and they want to do this and they want to do that, but they're not very clear about what it is that they really, like you said, want to do and what makes them happy.
And attitude is everything, because Kimberly told me, I was talking to her about something else, and I asked her, I said, why are you home? And she said, I just got laid off yesterday. I was like, oh my God. I felt it in the pit of my stomach. And she's like, no, I think this might be a good thing. And I think that's the first step right there, because I was like, whoa.
Right.
I mean, because even my layoffs, it was layoff, then I get hired another company, I get laid off, then they rehire me again, and they laid me off again. And
so,
like,
okay.
It was, please. But the thing was, I guess I just never. Do you know you have people who just they work somewhere, and like you said, they just love the company they work for, and they just love it. And the whole conversation is that has never been me, because my whole thing has been is
to future employers.
because I know when the bottom line hits. They will let me go and not think about Carol. So this time around, if I'm gonna get fired, I'm gonna fire myself. Party stylist Carol Hampton.
Yeah, but I think that's a good point. I mean, I think that some people. I mean, I have an absolute passion for what I do, and I have an absolute passion for the company and the brand that I work for. I mean, that I think is clear. Kiss. Yeah, I know. But I think that I'm also very clear about it is a company that I work for. And even though I think that they're pleased with what I do, I mean, there may be a time when a change has to be made. And I think that you have to constantly be thinking that and also preparing for that. And I think that there are so many people now that have side hustles and they do this on the side. And I mean, I know people that, they got like 5 business cards and they, just hand them to you one after another. So what steps have you been taking, Kim, now that you are home to become independent and have your own thing?
Because it's still so new, I've made a list of ideas of things that I know that I'm good at and what it is that I would want to do professionally where other people would be willing to pay me to do this. Okay. So I've made a list of those. I've made a list. So, and I've also been spending more time with my daughter. So I've really been enjoying that and being at home when she wakes up and being able to spend time with her and start her on naps and go out and do certain things during the day that we haven't been able to do. So it's been really awesome because it's new, but I definitely, there's no time like the present. So I'm definitely wanting to strike while the iron is hot because I have friends that have been out there in the job force and looking for years. So I definitely don't want it to be, but you're a party stylist, so you have, but I'm saying they have no side hustles. It's just their full-time thing has been looking for a job. So.
All right, well, we're going to check on you. We don't see you in your pajamas sitting at home eating bonbons in 6 months. We're going to Keep checking on you. All right. So, as we said, it's just really important, I guess, to stay on top of and stay in touch. I mean, you have to definitely be up on all the new stuff and the technology. And I'm pulling Mary forward as it comes to the
And
technology.
do lunches. Do lunches.
We'll talk after.
We'll talk about it. We've decided so many things happen around food that we're like, why do we have to have lunch? Why can't we we'll talk over a walk in the park?
Oh yeah.
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 Another big topic that we always like to discuss is relationships. And next up, we have relationship educator, not just an expert, she's an educator, Yanni Brown, with some tips on how to love yourself.
Oh.
Hi, Nikki and Mary. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Johnny Brown of Making Love Better Together, and I'm also the author of a book called Making Love Better Begins Within. There are 4 things that I'd like to share with Mamas Gone Wild about learning to love yourself. First, fall in love with you. Discover or rediscover the love that you used to have for you. Date you. There is nothing more exciting than falling in love with you. I mean, after all, who can love you better than you? Honor you, flaws and all. Learn to love you and all of the perfect imperfections that were created just for you. If there's something about you that you don't like, change it, but only change it if it's just for you. Trust you. Trust your intuition, because really you're right. You're on the right path. You're on the right track. What you really believe deep down inside are those core values that you should have within you. Don't let anyone change that. It's that small, still voice that really keeps us on track. Forgiveness is a big one for us ladies. Learn to forgive you. Forgiveness releases you from all the things that have been trapped in you for probably years and years. When you forgive you, your past is just a reflection of who you're on your way to becoming. There's a lesson to be learned in everything that we do, and those lessons are really designed to keep us in tune, or to get us in tune with what's ultimately meant for us to do. And then it also releases you in ways that you could never imagine. Mama's Gone Wild, you have way more power than you could ever imagine. How will you ever be able to receive your king if you don't understand, know, value, and get it? I mean, really, really get it that you're a queen to be cherished, a queen to be loved, and you need to have that love for yourself. So, Mama's Gone Wild, I dare you to take that journey to learning to love you, because ultimately, making love better really does begin within. Bye, Mama's Gone Wild. Have a great day.
All right, so now we know how to love ourselves.
I love me.
I love me too. And I also love adult beverages, probably a little too much. So.
I know. I got this idea from you because when Nikki and her kids go out and she orders a margarita, it's not a margarita, it's an
adult lemonade. God bless them, they still believe that.
Right.
So when I don't break their
So I have a recipe for adult fruit punch.
AKA sangria.
Right. Get 3 types of wine: Merlot, Cabernet, something else I can't pronounce, and a can of frozen fruit punch, frozen fruit, strawberries, blueberries, whatever, a Sprite and ginger ale. Empty the can of punch into a pitcher. Pour just like you're making fruit punch. Use a container from the fruit punch to put Sprite in there. Put it in the refrigerator for about an hour, and the party's on.
And it continues. The best part of sangria is
Right.
after the actual liquid is gone, the fruit is phenomenal.
Right, but don't give it to your kids.
Yeah, don't give it to your kids. Unless you want them to go to sleep. No, I'm joking.
And don't take it to the church picnic either.
Unless you want it to be wild. So that is sangria, and it's great during the summer. It's a favorite. I think just about everybody loves it.
Everybody
loves it.
in my house.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of Mama's Gone Wild. You can always check the website because we have lots of episodes up that you can now look and peruse at your leisure. You can also email us at mamasgonewild.
Please email us.
Yeah, mamasgonewild at gmail.com. That's mamasgonewild at gmail.com. And we may read one of your letters.
Right.
Yeah. We no longer have to write our own. Thanks for tuning in. It's Mama's Gone Wild on blackamericaweb.com.
Stay wild.
You're so funny.